Car Wash. Kick off the year with 30% off for 3 months on an unlimited Super Protect membership. Wash more, worry less, and save big in the new year. Visit superstarcarwash.com for details. Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpower.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your team with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Right now at More Kia in Scottsdale, we have the vehicles you want at affordable prices.
For instance, the sought-after 2025 Kia Sportage is available for $27,999 and with $2,000 down at 3.99% financing for 72 months. Drive out with a payment of $475 a month. We have affordable options from all of our popular Kia.
Now available at Mark Kia at the Scottsdale Auto Show. The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia. Go Mark.com for details. Early Kia Motors Finance. Offer expires.
Rev up the romance this February at Casino Arizona with your chance to win the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Earn entries all February long and join us for weekly drawings every Wednesday where you could win your share of cash and prizes, plus entries into the grand prize drawing. Then on February 25th, 6 lucky winners will be taking home up to $10,000 or the keys to a 2026 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Don't miss your chance. Details at CasinoArizona.com. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
At Surgical Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contract registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
January 30th, 2026. It is the Friday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Streaming on the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can watch us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you here today on the show. I can't call it a football Friday, producer Evan, because there's no football for us to watch over the weekend. I feel a little emptiness in my heart today that there won't be an NFL look ahead at 11:30. There'll be no picks, and now we're number 2 of the program.
It's so sad.
It's just a different kind of Friday feeling. And I look forward to the Friday shows, and I'm looking forward to today's show because we've got a lot of great stuff, including the big Suns win last night. But just there's something about today that feels a little empty. Now, how about this maybe filling that void? I have a major announcement today here on the program. Major announcement that I will make during the leftovers today. So 12:45, you're going to want to be here. A major announcement about the happenings on KDUS AM 1060 and our sister station that we use from time to time, KACG 1440. Major announcement. Huge programming update of some new things you'll be able to hear on KDUS AM 1060 and on 1440 starting this Sunday. I'll let you know what that is at 12:45. In the meantime, we've got a basketball game to break down because you know what I get to use today? The Red Sharpie.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Break it out, everybody. It's a winning streak for the Phoenix Suns. A nice red W next to the Detroit Pistons because that's exactly what the Phoenix Suns did last night. They defeated the top seed in the Eastern Conference. Why? How did they do it? Dillon Brooks. Career night for Dillon Brooks because there was no Jalen Green. There was no Devin Booker. Colin Gillespie was back. But it was all about Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks was sensational last night. I believe the kids use this term. And I know we may have an older audience, so I'm going to teach you. Dillon Brooks was him last night. Dillon Brooks was the dude. He was the guy, the man, whatever you want to say. It was all about Dillon Brooks last night for the Phoenix Suns in this win. And this goes back to something that I said yesterday here on the show. You sit down You turn on Phoenix Suns basketball, and you don't wonder if they can hang around with a team like Detroit shorthanded. You're just wondering how they're going to do it this go-around. Is last night's game not the perfect example? No Devin Booker, no Jalen Green. You lost to this Detroit team the last time you played them. Every reason for that game last night to be a loss. But sure enough, something new happens for this team. Something else emerges. I didn't have Dillon Brooks going for a career night 40 points last night. Didn't have that on my bingo card. And it leads to a Phoenix Suns victory. Oh, by the way, I believe that is their 29th victory of the season.
29, correct.
The over-under in Vegas before the season, 30.5.
You are 2 away. You are 29 and 19.
If you listened to this program, you're going to be able to catch that ticket way early.
48 games into the season, you are just 2 wins away.
2 wins away. Was the most disrespectful line I've ever seen set on a team's win total. So disrespectful to everybody involved. Now, I understand kind of how they got there, but just felt like free money. And boy, does it look like it's going to be free money because they're already at 29, 48 games through the season. You just watch all of these games and you wonder, how do they keep doing it? And it's just something new, something different every single night. And so that leads me to, I think, what's the more important question to ask today? Not how do they keep doing it, but for those of you that maybe are still on the fence, are you done? Are you done being on the fence with this team? Are you done doubting what this team's ceiling is this season? Are you done doubting that this team is going to be able to make noise, that they have already made noise? I know you're waiting for the music to stop. You're waiting for the air to be let out of the balloon. But is last night not the latest example as to why you should just stop doubting this team, enjoy the ride, and set those expectations high? What more does this team have to do? They won a game last night against the best team in the Eastern Conference without their 2 best offensive players. And they won it convincingly. They won it comfortably. The Pistons called it off in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes to go. They got the starters out of the game.
There was one moment where it felt like the Pistons were making a push.
In the second half, they started to make a little bit of a push.
But
the Suns
other than
weathered that storm, and it was right back to it being a double-digit 14, 15, 16-point lead. And the Pistons called off the dogs. What more do you need to see from this team to be a believer if you are still on the fence? Because you got something last night that in your wildest dreams before the season, I don't think you thought you could get. A win against the top team in the other conference without Devin Booker and without Jalen Green. And they did it comfortably. You know what I find so fun about this team? And I tried to figure out how to describe it while I was watching it last night because I knew I wanted to talk about it here today. I don't know if you feel this way, producer Evan, but when you're watching this team on offense and a shot doesn't go down for them, it feels like they have a uncanny ability to create what I want to call chaos plays.
Correct.
Where they tip a rebound, they tip the ball into open space. It's a 50-50, it's a loose ball, and it just feels like they create more of those plays than anybody else in the league. And it also feels like they turn those plays into extra points, right? Early on in the game, the story was second chance points for the Phoenix Suns. They just create those extra opportunities at a level that I don't think other teams in the sport do.
Is there a 50-50 ball, honestly, that you don't think the Suns are going to come away with?
Right. You
feel like every
it.
one. There was just the one weird play last night. I can't remember who it was. Came down and missed a dunk. Was it Oso?
Might have been, yeah.
And it came right back up in the air. And I felt like the Suns could get that one, and maybe they just kind of eased up on that one. That was in the middle of that run in the second half. But other than that, it just feels like the Suns are going to get every 50-50 ball.
Feels like they're so good at when there's a miss, there's a commitment to not giving up on the possession and tipping the ball into open space or being able to, in some cases, tip it directly to a fellow teammate and restart the offense. It just feels like they are so good at that. And it goes back to something that we have talked about so much on this program. The effort level that the Phoenix Suns bring to the table every single night is just unmatched. I'm sorry. I don't think there's a team in this sport right now that plays harder on a game in, game out, night in, night out basis than the Phoenix Suns. I don't see a team that plays at that type of effort level every single night. Again, every reason for that game to go sideways. And instead, it's the effort level of the Phoenix Suns that allows them to dominate the best team in the Eastern Conference. Not just beat, dominate. Also, file last night's game away as another example of Jordan Knott being extremely good at making adjustments from the first time he's seen a team to the next time he sees that team. Another time where they lost the first meeting and then won the second meeting. He does not get beat the same way twice. It's an incredible coaching job. And I want to talk about Jordan Knott a little bit today, if it's all right with everybody. Because the Coach of the Year award certainly on the table for Jordan Knott. There's just one thing he's got to do, I think, to firmly put himself into that conversation. Career night from Dillon Brooks. Oh, by the way, it was Dillon the Villain t-shirt night last night.
T-shirts were awesome.
What a great time for Dillon Brooks to pull out that performance when we were already celebrating him.
That's like going off on your bobblehead night.
Has he been the best story so far this season for the Phoenix Suns?
Has to be, right?
I mean, there's so many stories that you could point to. It's the year that Colin Gillespie is having. You can talk about Mark Williams and the resurgence in his career. Grayson Allen's been a great player. I mean, there are some really great individual storylines. I don't know if there is one better than Dillon Brooks, who was a member of a Rockets team that traded him away in order to get Kevin Durant to make a push to win a championship, was told, don't want you, don't need you. We don't think you're important. And he comes here, and he is instantly the reason why the culture has changed. He's been embraced by these fans. You just love the way that he plays. And he has backed up everything that this organization told us in the summer of how this team was going to play. Normally, teams fall short when they talk like that. This team undersold. This organization undersold what we were going to get this season.
It's uncanny what this team has done in a culture change. And Dillon has been probably the biggest piece of that. And it just, you can see it on a night in, night out basis, but like, it just is infectious. It's right. Everybody is starting to play that way. And they've just kind of really looked at it like everybody but versus us.
There's nobody that is either in the starting lineup who comes off the bench where you go, I don't think they're going to have the effort level tonight. There's no weak spot in the effort department. And that's just, it's buy-in, it's good coaching, it's good scouting, it's good player acquisition. I mean, it's just a credit to everybody, right? It's a credit to the players for the buy-in. It's a credit to the coaching staff for setting up an infrastructure so quickly for these players to want to buy in. And it's a good job by the front office and Brian Gregory.
The alignment
of getting players from a culture, personality standpoint that fit into what they are trying to do. That's not easy. It's not easy to identify a player and say, you know what, I think this player is going to be a good culture fit. It's another thing to acquire a whole host of players and they all fit the culture. Is there a weak spot culture-wise on this team that you can identify? Absolutely not. Is there a weak spot effort-wise that you can identify? Absolutely not.
No.
They're held accountable by the coaches. They're held accountable by each other. And there's just so much collective buy-in, and credit deserves to be heaped everywhere. The players, the coaches, the front office, the owner, everybody deserves praise for what this team has done so far. And I think last night is the latest cherry on top because they've been adding cherries all season long. Last night, just the latest example of just when you think this team doesn't have it in them, they give you a game like last night. And so I'll ask it again. Are you done doubting this team? Are you done being on the fence about this team? This team has a resume that deserves your support. It deserves your backing. It deserves your energy. They're providing the energy. For those of you that are still on the fence, what more do you want? What could you possibly need from this team that they haven't already given you? Big wins against the Lakers, your chief rival, check. Holding your own against the best teams in the tops of both conferences, check. In a position to exceed the wildest expectations for this season, check.
There's nothing you can say.
The team that you love rooting for, players that you love rooting for, check. A coach that's enjoyable to watch, feels like he's got a good feel for the game, the modern game, check. A GM that feels like he knows what he's doing, check. What more do you want? Short of them hoisting the Larry O'Brien, what more do you need from this team? Honestly, what more do you need? They just beat the best team in the Eastern Conference after almost beating them the last time they played them in Detroit. They've held their own against Oklahoma City this season. They've taken care of business against the Lakers, against the Spurs, against the Timberwolves. Come playoff time, they're going to be, spoiler alert, everybody, gather around real quick, because let me let you in on a little secret of how this is going to go. The Phoenix Suns keep playing this way. You know what's going to happen, producer Evan? They're going to be a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. They're going to be a top 5 seed in the Western Conference. And you know what's going to happen? The national media is going to start catching up, and you're starting to see it. Charles Barkley's starting to catch up, talking about Dillon Brooks being an all-star. Everybody else is lagging behind. We're going to get to the playoffs, and mark my words. Hope we're rolling on this. Watch the Phoenix Suns be everybody's trendy surprise pick to make a deep run in the postseason. Watch the Phoenix Suns be everybody's surprise team that can make some noise in the postseason, and you'll hear it. You'll hear all the words that we talk about on this show. Oh, they just play hard. They play with a lot of energy. They've been playing like it's the playoffs all season long. They're just going to be better prepared for this, and they're going to take advantage of a team that kind of tries to sleepwalk through. Mark my words. If this team continues to play the way that they're playing right now, and there's no reason to, they won last night without their 2 best players on the offensive side. Mark my words, they're going to be everybody's trendy pick when it gets to being like, give me your surprise team in the playoffs. Give me that team that goes on a surprise run. Mark my words, it'll be the Phoenix Suns. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. If you want to sound off, share your thoughts on the Suns' win last night. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel and subscribe to us over there as well. Hey, if you're listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app, you can listen for your chance to win 2 tickets. The 28th annual Arizona Renaissance Festival in Gold Canyon opens up this Saturday, January 31st. It's open Saturdays and Sundays through January 31st, all the way up until March 29th. We've got your chance to win a pair of tickets for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app or streaming us on KDUS1060.com. When we come back, if he is actually a possibility, what are the Cardinals potentially getting in Klint Kubiak? We'll talk about it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Hey, listeners, it's Vince DeLisio with the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in Saturday morning as we take our show back on the road again to sunny Las Vegas, where I'll be joined by our newest talented UNLV Greenspun journalism team. We'll be live from one of Vegas's most iconic spots. I can't wait. It's the Varsity Sports Show, Saturday morning at 10 and 9 a.m. Pacific on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS, Arizona.
It's frustrating when people intervene on you, but they have problems of their own. It's like when someone sends you a text, but the text comes from their email address. I hate this. Your name at iCloud, they FaceTime you from their email address? Are you calling on a child's iPad?
Emmy-winning comedian John Mulaney announces his new tour, Mr. Whatever. Celebrity Theater, Friday, March 6th. Tickets on sale now at etix.com.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Saturday, February the 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart, any style, any budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. For the one, we'll help you propose with a dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes, in stock and ready to compare side by side. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right. and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Jim, I'm here with you, Rome Report. Sort of nice to see LeBron get so dusty in his return last night to Cleveland, where the Cavaliers honored him with a video tribute. And sort of hilarious to see him get that worked up in the midst of one of his worst games of the year, a 30-point beatdown administered by the Cavs. But at least it was all about him, right? Which brings me to this next point. Is this the last time we'll ever see him on that floor? And is this the final year of his illustrious career? Now that is hilarious, because that guy is just going to peace out and move on to the next chapter of his life. Get the hell out of here with that. You know, dude is going to make an announcement before next season so he can get an entire season of credit, run, gifts, and have a year-long party for himself. If you think this dude isn't going to throw himself a 6-month going-away party, then you don't know this dude. Get real. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. Plus, receive 2 times O Rewards points. Limit supply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. And let me tell you, I love numbers. 1040s, 1099s, W-2s, all of them. With TaxSlayer, anyone can file a federal return for just $22.99. You'll get 100% accuracy and your biggest possible refund guaranteed. Now those are great numbers. Need help along the way? We've got US-based real human support. File by February 8th for just $22.99 and get the refund you deserve. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Want to shout out the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Our guy Brian over there says, with all these accolades flying around, maybe it's best we let the trade deadline come and go with no action and just ride with what we got. Brian, were you in the morning meeting today? Because, I don't know, about a half hour from now, give or take, we're going to get into that. If the trade deadline plans of the Phoenix Suns, as we know them right now, are the right ones. So
That's the one thing about our YouTube chat.
They're always ahead of the game.
Shout out John, shout out Michael, shout out Brian. Code, always ahead of the game.
Always ahead of the game, and it's an interesting question that you ask that we are going to try to get to the bottom of here today on the show. But we are all still waiting. Is this day 5? I've lost count. Are we officially day 5?
LaFleur.
Of LaFleur watch?
Day 5.
Do we need to change it to Kubiak watch? I don't know what to do here.
We are now on Kubiak watch.
We've now pivoted to this being Klint Kubiak watch because it is expected that the interviews with both the Cardinals and the Raiders will take place tomorrow. Now, remember, a decision can't be made by Klint Kubiak until the end of the Super Bowl. So I don't know if by the end of the weekend, the Cardinals will have an answer of what they want to do at their head coach position. But I figured we should talk about Klint Kubiak, the candidate, and not have this back and forth about, are they being used for leverage? Why is he taking the interview? Does this make any sense? Let's act for just this one segment like this is happening and he's interested and this matters. Let's actually evaluate Klint Kubiak, the candidate for the vacancy that is the Arizona Cardinals head coach. What are the Cardinals getting in Klint Kubiak? What are they getting in the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks? They're getting somebody who's had 3 total stops as a play caller. Was a play caller in 2021 with the Minnesota Vikings, was a play caller last year in New Orleans with the Saints, and is now the play caller in Seattle for Sam Darnold. 3 years of play calling experience. Now he's got a whole host of other experience working with the 49ers staff and Kyle Shanahan, and he's been around the league a long time. His dad, Gary Kubiak, has a long history in this league. But in terms of play calling, it's 3 seasons. It's Minnesota, it's New Orleans, it's Seattle. And really, the 2 stops previous to Seattle don't have numbers and statistics that you're going to write home about. It wasn't like Klint Kubiak's going to walk into Saturday's meetings with a resume that everywhere he goes, offenses flourish. He's had an excellent offense this season with Sam Darnold, the number 1 offense in the sport. He has taken Sam Darnold, who's had all these other stops, found some success in Minnesota. He's built on that success and has Sam Darnold playing in a Super Bowl. That's Klint Kubiak. That's basically it. So what makes Klint Kubiak better than Mike LaFleur? Truly, what makes him better? He has 1 extra year of play calling experience. Mike LaFleur called plays for 2 seasons in New York. This is Kubiak's 3rd season calling plays at the NFL level. The resume of coaches that Mike LaFleur has worked with or for trumps any list that Klint Kubiak's going to put together, at least in the modern professional game of football. Is it to work with Sam Darnold? Is it to work with a quarterback that was considered a project, a reclamation project when he got to Minnesota, found the success in Minnesota? Seattle took the gamble. They rolled the dice. They gave him the big 3-year contract, and it's paid off to the tune of a Super Bowl appearance and the best offense in the sport. Is the bet that Klint Kubiak has shown an ability to identify a quarterback, pick a quarterback, work with that quarterback, get the most out of that quarterback? And for the Arizona Cardinals, considering they're going to have a major decision in that department, why not go get somebody who just is fresh off of doing that? Where LaFleur had a hand in picking a quarterback in New York, at least in some capacity, and it didn't get anywhere with Zach Wilson, and then went to L.A., is with the Rams, doesn't call plays for Sean McVay. They've had Matt Stafford. It's been relatively easy to be the offensive coordinator. You haven't had to identify the next quarterback for the organization or coach up a quarterback to be ready to take over for Matt Stafford. So is that the draw for Kubiak? Because at the end of the day, how much is really different between the two? The play calling this past season, sure. But the overall body of work as a play caller is small for both of them. And so is your deciding factor the work that Kubiak did with Darnold and viewing it as a 1-to-1 situation of where the Cardinals are going to be this offseason, needing to get a quarterback? What's your sales pitch if you're Michael Bidwell? I've been thinking about this as well here since we learned of this meeting. What are you selling Klint Kubiak on? Because just like Michael LaFleur, Klint Kubiak probably has intimate knowledge of you as an organization. You're a division rival. They've played you twice a year. They're prepared for you. He's put your defense on tape. He's put your entire team on tape. He knows what you're about. What's your sales pitch? Do you have the number 1 overall pick? Do you have $100 million in cap space? Do you have the stadium that the Raiders have? Do you have the backing of an owner that, let's face it, doesn't always make the right financial decision, but makes pretty big swings in the financial department? Had the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL last season in Chip Kelly at $6 million. Isn't afraid to splurge when he feels like it is in the best interest of his franchise. Does he always get it right? No. The Raiders spend big money. There's the Tom Brady influence in all of this. What is your sales pitch if you're Michael Bidwell? You have an F report card from the NFLPA. So how many players are going to want to come here? You don't have an easy answer to the quarterback situation. You don't have an easy cap space. What are you selling Klint Kubiak on if you're Michael Bidwell and Monty Ossenfort this weekend? What's the sales pitch? What's in the PowerPoint? What's on the slides? How many slides are there? You had somebody in the building this week that wanted the job. Momentum was pointing you towards him getting that job. And then for some reason, we don't know why, this Klint Kubiak thing came out of nowhere. So I ask, what's the sales pitch?
You're looking up, and what do you pitch on it? Like, what's you don't have a quarterback.
You're not paying him more than the Raiders are going to pay him.
In all honesty, even at number one, you have the number one pick. What if he's the only sales pitch is how sold are you on Fernando Mendoza?
You're going to get more money to be the coach of the Raiders. You're going to have the number one overall pick. Even if you don't like Mendoza, you still have the number one overall pick that you can trade for a ransom for somebody to come up and get Mendoza, or you take Mendoza yourself. You get $100 million in cap space. You're going to be allowed to put your fingerprints all over the roster in year one. Take the Cardinals out of the equation. That's just a good landing spot for any young offensive coordinator who wants to be a head coach. You're going to get the organizational support. Yeah, you play in a tough division. You got to play Mahomes twice. You got to play Denver twice. You got to play Herbert twice. I get all that. But you are set up to have instant success there in Las Vegas in a way you are not set up for in Arizona. You have ways to improve your positioning right away. So what's the sales pitch? Because to be honest with you, I don't see that much of a difference between Klint Kubiak and Mike LaFleur. I don't see a wide difference between what you are getting in Kubiak and what you are getting with LaFleur. They're NFC West offensive coordinators. That's a checked box for me. They've got a ton of great influence throughout their career. That's a check for me. They have around the same amount of play calling experience. Kubiak's offenses in Minnesota and New Orleans were not anything to write home about. And yeah, Kubiak worked with Sam Darnold. You kind of like that quality if you're going to overhaul your quarterback room this offseason. But I just don't see that much of a difference to why you have to run and go take this meeting over the weekend. Why you couldn't get it over the finish line with LaFleur. Now, I'm still on record that I don't think this is going to mess up their pursuit of Mike LaFleur. I just don't. I think they're going to take this meeting, they're going to look Klint Kubiak in the eye, and they're going to find out if he's for real about taking this job. And I think they'll have a pretty good spidey sense if they're getting played, if they're getting used for leverage. And then if they realize that, they'll very quickly pivot and make LaFleur the next head coach. But I just don't see that big of a difference. I know he was your number one choice. I think you had LaFleur at number 3. I had LaFleur at 2. I think I had Kubiak at 2, LaFleur at 3. I just don't see that much of a difference between these two guys. You're betting on the guy who you knew called plays in the NFC West last season compared to the guy who's worked under Sean McVay? That's the difference?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only difference I see. That's a major difference that would make you want to sit down with Kubiak and make him the next head coach over LaFleur.
And the other one, knowing that, Mike LaFleur comes into a situation with a more proven quarterback, and Kubiak, still feels like you have the development side of Darnold.
Right. He helped. I don't want to say developed Darnold, but
because that's the wrong word. He helped get the most out of Darnold.
Yeah, he helped Darnold's evolution that we've seen over the last 2 seasons. He's helped it along. And that's a quality you may like that you just don't have that example of LaFleur doing that. But that's it. So we'll see. LaFleur watch, Kubiak watch, however you want to describe it, it continues on. And I don't know. I don't know if the Cardinals will have a head coach when we come in here on Monday. At the beginning of the week, I would have told you by today we would have had a head coach. Now I'm not sure if we get news between now and Monday. Not sure. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also listen to us on the KDUS AM 1060 app, where you can listen for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic Warehouse 215, Wednesday, February 18th. When we come back, are they mostly done with their offseason? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Rams and Seahawks, Andy. I don't understand how to be so aggressive. But instead of definitely going up 13-10, your play calls resulted in a quick punt, so quick that Seattle actually gets the ball back, goes down the field and takes a lead, and then they get the jump on you in the second half with that fumbled punt. And that was a huge mistake by the Rams. But I'm going to go back to how they mismanaged that at halftime.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Bad Omens. Do you feel love? North American Tour 2026. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, March 24th. Bad Omens. with special guests Beartooth and President. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Bad Omens, live in Glendale.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Hellsberg, just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
It's the grand opening of Fulton Homes' newest master plan community, Acclaim. This beautiful community features open spaces, multiple parks, and a large aquatic center. Visit FultonHomes.com. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR and the NTT IndyCar Series are coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 5th through the 8th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Come on down to the Ranch House Grill. Comfort food is your next meal. Pork chili verde, chicken fried steak. Ranch House knows you'll think it's great. Hey there, Phoenix. Have you tasted the best breakfast in town yet? Well, Ranch House Grill has it. From our crispy golden chicken fried steak to our hearty slow-cooked pork chili verde, our generous portions are sure to make you feel right at home. We serve breakfast and lunch every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. in a cozy, family-friendly spot with a small-town feel. After 19 years of serving up Southwestern comfort food, we're still right here on 56th Street and Thomas Road. Come on by and let us make your morning special.
ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lady Sun Devils this Sunday as they take on Kansas State here at home. Head coach Molly Miller knows what it'll take to lead her team to another home conference win. Join Jeff Mudd on the call live. It's ASU versus Kansas State this Sunday. A pregame at 1:30 p.m. and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, and you here today on the Friday edition of the show. Yet again, feels weird not saying it's a football Friday. Also feels weird that we're into the third segment of the Friday show and I'm not playing NFL music right now. I'm troubled.
Do you want to do it?
Well, no, there's nothing to look ahead to.
Yes, there is.
I'm not doing a look ahead for the Pro Bowl. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Next week is going to be the last look ahead, and it's not even going to be a true look ahead. It's one game. That's not what you come to expect with the look ahead.
But it's the big game.
Oh, it's the big game. It's the biggest look ahead of the season.
It is. With the least amount of games.
With the least amount of games, yeah. No NFL look ahead. No picks today on the program. That's going to be saved for next week. We came up with a added wrinkle to the hot dogs for the picks bet. Boy, I can't wait to tell everybody about that.
I think we save that to next Friday when we make the pick. But there's been a major change that could allow you to be a part of this in some way. Could allow you to be a part of the hot dog punishment. Not like you have to eat the hot dogs for us, but just a way for you to be involved. How about that for a tease? I'm teasing for something next Friday's show, a week from now. In the meantime, let's talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks because the calendar is about to flip to February over the weekend, which means it is spring training season. Pitchers and catchers will start to report. There will be game action here before you know it. The WBC is right around the corner. And then just like that, it'll be the start of this season. And it feels like most teams' off seasons are beginning to wind down. And so that got me thinking, are the Diamondbacks mostly done? Is their offseason complete? I know they get Derek Law yesterday on a minor league deal, reliever, with an invite to spring training, chance to make the bullpen, make the team out of camp. That's it. It's kind of these small moves on the edges, on the margins. And you know what that else got me thinking about? Where was my other move that I thought was coming? Nolan Arenado, traded for to be the third baseman. Thought for sure Jordan Lawler and or something else was going to be moved. Somebody else was going to get moved for a pitcher. That didn't happen. Where was my other move? So are the Diamondbacks done, and do we like what they did this offseason? It's not a lot. I think it's highlighted more by what they didn't do. It's highlighted more by Ketel Marte staying. It's highlighted more by the roller coaster ride that was the winter meetings of the will they, won't they with Ketel Marte. Because their second baseman's going to be the same as it was last year. Their shortstop's going to be the same as it was last year. Their catcher is going to be the same as it was last year. Their right fielder, one of their other outfielders in Blaze Alexander, is going to be the same. Their pitching staff remains mostly unchanged. Maybe there's a surprise Zach Gallen reunion in the future. But this roster is relatively set, and it looks mostly the same as last year. There's some opportunity for some young guys to come up and contribute. There is the addition of Mike Soroka to this rotation. It's the addition of Nolan Arenado to play third base. Perhaps there's a Paul Goldschmidt reunion that changes the 2026 first base spot from where it was in 2025. But mostly this group remains the same. And there's not a whole lot out there. You look at the free agent market by projected WAR for next season. A lot of the big names are gone. The other two big names are Zach Gallen and Framber Valdez. And I know people want Framber Valdez, and they're kind of thinking, the Diamondbacks can do that thing where they pick up a surprise pitcher in the offseason. Jordan Montgomery first. Then it was Corbin Burns. Now it'll be Framber Valdez. I would be a little worried about that. I would be a little concerned this late in the process adding Framber Valdez, somebody that you don't know, somebody that's new to your organization. And I will tell you, if we get into spring training and Framber Valdez remains unsigned, I would be very wary about adding him. Remember when Blake Snell signed really late for, the Giants a couple of off seasons ago?
Yeah, he had a tough start.
He had an awful first half because he got started so late. Now, the difference with Framber Valdez and Zach Gallen is you know what you're getting in Zach Gallen. So maybe you're willing to make a late addition of Zach Gallen because you know who he is as a pitcher. But boy, pitchers are creatures of habit, and I would not want to bring in a pitcher late into the spring training process when they have not had a full ramp up. And there is a difference between ramping up on your own, working on the side, working at home, working in a facility, than it is working with a big league team and big league coaches and having a plan and following that plan every day and getting your work in games. So there's a big, big, big difference. So I think the Diamondbacks are mostly done. And I don't know, can we classify this as a successful offseason? I don't think so. They're mostly the same. It's successful if you wanted Ketel Marte to stay. But it's mostly the same group. You're hoping to find more stability in the rotation. You're hoping that guys can stay healthy. But it is mostly the same group that this team had last year. We've got some young players like Pavin Smith and Tyler Locklear that can play over it at first base. It'll be a full season of Blaze Alexander in a premium role. Maybe you can get some more from Nolan Arenado. You've got some young players like Ryan Waldschmidt who can come up and contribute, but that's it. You're looking for a bounce back from Brendan Pfaadt. You're looking for Ryan Nelson to grow into that frontline starter. You're looking for a better year from Eduardo Rodriguez. You're looking to get healthy in the bullpen with A.J. Puck and Justin Martinez. That's what this team is about. They're mostly the same. They're mostly the same.
I mean, we talked about it. We thought this was going to be a very different team. And then even when they made the Nolan Arenado move, it was like, okay, well, what's next? And there just hasn't felt like there's been a follow-up to what is next. And there hasn't been the follow-through on what we thought this team would do.
Can I read to you the projected lineup according to Fangraphs for next season? Geraldo Perdomo was here last year. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, Geraldo Perdomo was
a great player.
Was ranked a top 5 shortstop by MLB Network last night, right? Like, great player, but was here last year. Ketel Marte here last year. Corbin Carroll here last year. Gabby Moreno here last year. Pavin Smith here last year. Adrian Del Castillo was hurt, but on the roster last year. Blaze Alexander here last year. Alec Thomas here last year. Their bench, James McCann, Tim Tawa, Ildemaro Vargas, Jorge Barosa, all guys that were here last year. Their rotation outside of Mike Soroka, 4 guys that were here last year. The only new arm to the bullpen, the new 2 arms to the bullpen, Taylor Clark, Jonathan Loaizaga. Now, yes, they're going to get Corbin Burns back at some point in the season. Yes, they'll get Justin Martinez and A.J. Puck, and these are good players that will raise the floor of the team, but it is mostly the same. And maybe that was by design. Maybe that was the plan. Maybe they want to keep spots open for young players. Maybe they believe in some tweaks for these players and health being an important factor. But the starting rotation wasn't good enough last year. The bullpen was a mess. You didn't do nearly enough to make us feel better about that department. So it's a big bet on your player development department.
It's a huge bet.
Like, it's a huge bet on your coaching staff and the plan that you have for some of these guys. Huge bet.
You need these young guys. You need 1, possibly 2 of them to come up and be real contributors.
Yeah, I mean,
you're betting on Ryan Waldschmidt to be a real contributor to this team for the majority of the season.
You're looking for him to be a contributor. You're looking to find a role for Jordan Lawler, and for him to be a contributor, maybe you're hoping that one of the 2 pitchers that you got in the Merrill Kelly trade, Cole Drake or Mitch Bratt, is on the fast track, and they can help you in the rotation, and maybe that's why you're not making a big bet there. Maybe you're looking at Juan Murillo and saying, hey, we can make some tweaks after he got some big league innings last year, and he can be a good reliever. I'm still a believer in his stuff overall. I get it. I understand the bet. But, boy, it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of question marks. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can listen to us over on the KDUS AM 1060 app for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Playmakers Classic, Warehouse 215, Wednesday, February 18th. Sip, savor, mingle, compete. A fundraising event experience, 30 years of impact at the Playmakers Classic, live performances, live broadcasts, behind-the-scenes access, custom experiences, activations from fanatics. You name it, they've got it over there. The MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic, Warehouse 215, Wednesday, February 18th. We've got your chance to win 2 tickets for listening on the app. When we come back, is the Suns trade deadline plan the right one? I'll answer that next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I wasn't going to ask too much of Jarrett Stidham. I just wanted him to maintain. You throw one deep pass late, and then you come back and try to throw another deep pass in those conditions, and he gets picked off. They just weren't threatening on all. Well, neither team was, because the weather was, obviously rough enough that we could even find, Jim Nance is like, I don't know where the ball is. I think the 33-yard line.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060. Sometimes the great ones just keep getting greater. 7-time Grammy winner Gladys Knight has rolled out hit after hit over her illustrious career. Don't miss Gladys Knight Saturday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. Brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents. To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tea at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt? Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket.
Ready to rock, guys?
You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger. In my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month. And I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
NAU men's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lumberjacks live this Saturday evening as they square off against Idaho. Head coach Shane Burkhardt knows how to get the most out of his team and earn themselves another win. Join Mitch Stroman on the call live. It's NAU versus the Idaho Vandals this Saturday. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. and tip-off at 6 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Watching the Phoenix Suns last night take down the Detroit Pistons, and I'll be honest, I couldn't help but wonder, is this the right trade deadline plan? The plan being not doing anything splashy, not doing anything major, probably not doing a whole lot at all to improve this team. Maybe shedding some salary to get under the luxury tax and just riding it out with this group that has excellent chemistry. The effort levels are off the charts. The results are excellent. Why would you mess up a good thing? Why would you try to do something to mess it all up? But it got me thinking watching this game last night because they won this game without Jalen Green, without Devin Booker. Dillon Brooks goes for 40, a career night on T-shirt night for him. They beat the top team in the Eastern Conference, and I couldn't help but think about this, producer Evan. Can you pull up the NBA standings for me? Can you tell me where the Phoenix Suns currently sit with 29 wins in the bank already? A big win last night against the Detroit Pistons. You're feeling good. You're feeling great about this team. You're loving life as a Suns fan right now. Where do they sit in the Western Conference?
The 29 and 19 Suns are currently 8.5 games back of the first place Oklahoma City Thunder, which puts them currently at the 7th seed. They're tied with the Lakers also, who are at the 6th seed, but they're 28 and 18. You're just a game back of Minnesota, a half game back of Minnesota, a full game back of the Rockets, who are in the 4th seed. So you are within a game of the 4th seed, currently sitting at the 7th seed.
And that's the problem. That's why I have the worry that I had last night about this trade deadline approach. Because I hear you. I hear you, Brian from Chandler, saying all these accolades that we're putting on this team. Why mess it up? Why go out and trade for somebody to potentially mess up the chemistry? Why upset the apple cart when things are going just fine? You don't need to make any major changes to this team because they're playing great right now. But what producer Evan just shared with all of us is the reason why I'm concerned. You have not been able to separate yourself from this pack. You right now, despite how great of a season this is, you are a play-in tournament team right now. You get a home play-in game, but you lose 2 games, you're going home.
Correct.
Not I get a 7-game series, I have to be beaten 4 times before I go home. There is zero separation. You've played excellent basketball. I think it's fair to use that word to describe this team this season. They have been excellent. It still has not allowed them to separate themselves from Minnesota, from LA, from Houston, from Denver, mean, Denver, we were waiting for that Denver slide when Jokic went out. Hasn't happened.
Nope.
Haven't gotten it. And so I wonder if the Suns need to do something, not something major, not like they could do this, but they don't need to go out and trade for Giannis. They don't need to blow it up in that way. But do you need to try to do something to try to break free from this group, to try to break away from the pack and solidify yourself as a top 6 team in the Western Conference? Don't you need to do something? Because I'll tell you what, the Lakers are going to do something. Minnesota's going to do something. Houston's going to do something. Denver's going to do something. And so while you may think it's the right decision to do nothing, trade Nick Richards, get under the luxury tax, feel good about yourself, if everybody else around you makes a meaningful addition and you don't, you got worse. You got worse by doing nothing. And so you kind of have to play the reaction game. You kind of have to look at the chessboard, and if they make a move, you got to respond. You right now are a play-in tournament team. Despite all this success, you got to do something to break away. And so that's why I worry that this trade deadline approach may be the wrong one. I don't need something splashy. I don't need you to go crazy. You can stay committed to your philosophy. You can stay committed to not upsetting the culture. But you're telling me Brian Gregory and his staff who put together this team in the first place can't identify some role players, some extra players on this bench that fit this culture? You're telling me those players don't exist? You're telling me Brian Gregory can't find them? You're telling me that that trade can't be made? That the only thing the Suns can do here is trade Nick Richards and get under the luxury tax? You're telling me that's the best that they can do? That should be the plan? I know the Lakers are going to make a move at the deadline. By the way, the deadline's in, 6 days? I'm not great at math. Tomorrow's the 31st, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. Right on the nose. 6 days.
Correct.
Over these next 6 days, the Lakers are going to get better. And you hear a lot of rumors about the Lakers trying to get better. You hear a couple of rumors about the Suns trying to get better. And I hope those rumors are true. Maybe not the specific players, but I hope those rumors are true because I'm sorry, this season has been so good. You got to do something to break away from the pack. They beat the Detroit Pistons last night without Jalen Green and Devin Booker. They beat the Detroit Pistons, the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference last night. And they dominated them. You can't let those types of moments, this type of season, just go by the wayside. You just can't do it. You got to do something. So I don't know if the trade deadline plan of trade Nick Richards, get under the luxury tax, feel good about yourself financially is the right one. Don't go crazy. Don't all of a sudden start becoming a second apron team again. Don't do all that. You don't need to do that. But do you need to do something in order to make this team better? Absolutely. Can you upgrade your bench? Absolutely. Can you find somebody that plays at this energy level that makes you a little bit more balanced in certain departments? Absolutely. The rest of the Western Conference that you're battling with right now is the 7 seed's going to get better. What are you going to do? How are you going to get better? It's going to do it for hour number 1 here of the program. We've got buy or sell to open up hour number 2 of the show. We've got a major announcement in hour number 2. We'll talk about Jordan Ott and the Coach of the Year. We'll talk about J.J. Watt's comments about the Arizona Cardinals. All of it in hour number 2 next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Free case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 800-9-million. 800-9-million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Motley Crue. The return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
Right now at Del Taco, you can get 2 grilled chicken tacos for just $3. You hear that? That's the real sizzle of a real grill. At Del Taco, we freshly grill our marinated chicken right here in our kitchens. Not some factory far, far away. It's what makes our grilled chicken tacos a top seller for over 30 years. So come get 2 grilled chicken tacos, made to order for only $3. A real good deal we can all use right now. Only at Del Taco. Del, yeah. Price and participation may vary.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you. Your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. We'll take total care of you. First, come browse all the beautiful settings in our cases. Take your time and try on as many as you want. You'll know when you put your ring on. Your heart will skip a beat. Now, onto your center stone. We can look at different diamond shapes and sizes until we find the perfect match. Come visit us in store, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
One hour till the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour. Another week of the lunch break in the books. We made it to a Friday. It's the Friday edition of Buy or Sell. Hottest takes you're going to find anywhere in sports talk radio in the Valley, right here on this program, right now during this segment. Is that enough caveats there?
That is enough caveats.
What do we have today on the Friday edition of Buy or Sell?
I'm all over the place today on the Friday edition of Buy or Sell.
Okay. That concerns me, but okay.
Last night's Suns win is the most impressive win of the year.
You do this to me all the time, and I got to break out the schedule.
Now you got to break out the schedule.
Other games that I'm considering. The win at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks when they were in the middle of a losing streak. To start the road trip. The win against Oklahoma City on January 4th is another one I want to put on the list. We can put last night on the list as well if we'd like.
I just think it has to be, given circumstances. You're at home playing the best team in the East, who you lost to, but you're playing them without Devin Booker, without Jalen Green. And you come out and not only win the game, but win it handedly, so that the Pistons punted essentially with 4 minutes left.
The win at Minnesota on December 8th?
That was a big one. That was a really big one.
The 2 wins over San Antonio, and there's a lot of great candidates.
The win over Oklahoma City.
I think there's some recency bias with last night's game because it was 40 points from Brooks, because they didn't have Green, because they didn't have Booker, because it's who they played. It's certainly one of their best wins of the season, but it feels like every time we say that, they get another one. Do something else. It's like the infomercial that you used to see at 3 a.m. when you were flipping through the TV channels as a kid. But wait, there's more. Like the Phoenix Suns are just always the but wait, there's more team. Just when you think that you've got the whole thing down of what you're getting if you call the infomercial number, they throw in an added value. That's the Phoenix Suns.
I always liked those infomercials.
But wait, there's more. Call right now, and you'll get this 7 DVD set of how to wash your boat. I don't know.
Always for pans, like pots and pans.
Yeah, you would get it would
the
be
copper ones.
It would be a set of like 7 or 8 copper pans, and then if you were one of the first people to call, they would throw in
a spatula,
or they would throw in like
Call right now. You'll get a spatula and a cookbook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They would throw books in there. They'd always give you just a little bit extra. They'd give you like call right now. You'll get this 12-piece knife set. There's just always something. That's the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns. Now tell me another sports talk station and a show in town that's going to give you this analogy. The Phoenix Suns are the 3 a.m. infomercial, just giving you more stuff. For the longer you listen.
I don't know if I've told this story on the air. One time, me and my dad, watching like the TV movie, on FX or something's on. And the infomercial came on for a like a pressure cooker. We were like, wow, fall off the bone ribs in 30 minutes.
Gotta have it.
So we called up and we got it.
Of course.
Right? Came to the house. And I mean, this thing sat untouched for 10 years, 8 to 10 years. I took it to, where I live now, moved out of the house. First time I used it was a couple months back. It was a monumental moment for my dad and I.
But wait, there's more. The story of the 2025-26 Phoenix Suns. There you go. Cut that promo, producer Corey. Make that the promo next week.
There's nothing that will change the Suns' mind in the last 6 days before the deadline. What they're doing is what they're doing.
Do we know exactly what they're doing?
No, but they've made their mind up, and it won't change either way.
Brian Gregory has come off as a very calculated individual so far in the major tentpole moments. Do you remember? Think about this for a second. Do you remember in the summertime we were worried that Brian Gregory wouldn't know how to orchestrate a Kevin Durant trade because he had never been a GM before? We were worried. Think about how far we've come since that moment, since those conversations in the summer.
It's wild. Remember how bad that press conference was?
I mean, again, I don't want to play the drop.
The alignment.
It came.
He said it. What was the count?
Oh, it was
Dwayne Rankin
like
27
times or something like that. And we made it a drop the next day because the press conference was so bad. It's now turned into a drop of endearment.
The alignment.
We use it as a praiseful drop.
It has taken a complete turn.
Right, a complete 180. And he's done such a good job as the general manager that I think he's extreme. I think they've had plenty of meetings. They know exactly what they're going to do. But in fairness, this is his first trade deadline. So this is an important kind of moment to see where he's at as a GM. His first draft, his first major offseason. Okay, he's checked those boxes. Now he's got to show us. And the draft, I think, is an incomplete grade right now. But now it's his first trade deadline. What do you do?
Yeah, and the draft does need to be looked at, though.
Well,
like, part of their draft was trading for Mark Williams.
Yes, and
so that falls into the grade. I want to say that, too. And also keep in mind, he came into what we played on this show as what people believe to be one of the worst offseason situations in the history of the league, let alone in the league currently.
They are a top 5 team in the West, I think, when it's all said and done. So from that to a top 5 team in the West. I just hope they do something at the deadline. I hope they do.
The D-backs still need to make a couple additions this offseason.
I mean, we're running out of time. We don't have time for this. My best friend, we watch, I think I've mentioned this on the program. I'm a huge pro wrestling. We watch AEW. And AEW, the product, the theme of it, I don't want to bore everybody with the details. The show has a lot going on. Just for 2 hours, there's stuff happening. We have a running joke that when things get added last minute, we will text each other, we don't have time for this. Like, the show is 2 hours. You don't have the ability to do all of this in 2 hours. I don't believe you. The Phoenix Suns, we don't have time. Or the Diamondbacks, we don't have time. We don't have time left between now and the beginning of the season for you to make some late additions to this team. You should have made them already. You don't have time.
To sell.
Yes, I'm selling. They'll do some small stuff, but from a major move department, no. That department's gone home for the holidays.
They made one. They traded for a 38-year-old third baseman.
Yeah. So once that move was done, apparently, that department packed up their stuff and they went on a vacation. That group is not in the office. You send them an email, you get the out-of-office response. That group's not working this week.
But they did get Nolan Arenado.
They did. And then that group said, oh, work here's done.
I'd rather have Klint Kubiak than Mike LaFleur.
I'm going to sell this take. I don't think there's a large enough difference for me between these two. I really don't.
I had to ask.
No, and I appreciate you asking, and I think it's a valid question to ask. And maybe my opinion is of the unpopular variety.
But just as we go into this, I think a decision's going to be made this weekend. Yeah, probably.
And I just don't think there's that much of a difference between the two of them. Now, would I rather have Kubiak? Yeah, probably, because of specifically the tiebreaker is the work he did with Darnold.
Okay, so we're buying this.
What was the take again?
I'd rather have Klint Kubiak than Mike LaFleur.
Yeah, I think I originally sold. I want to buy. Because I would be happy with both. I don't think they would be wrong for picking LaFleur instead. I think I would rather Kubiak, but it's razor thin. It's so close.
Fair.
Like when you read that statement, like it felt so
definitive.
Like I would rather have. Like I don't know if I feel that strongly about it.
That's fair. That's fair. It's hard to read that statement and not sound definitive with it.
And
I just think, like, for me, like, I think it could be tight, but like, I do think I would rather have Klint Kubiak be the next head coach of the Cardinals than I would be upset with LaFleur. Don't get me wrong. I think they've done a good process. I think it's worked out in their favor to this point. It really has.
Be careful. Be careful. Don't say that too loudly. Social media will come after you.
That's true.
Be careful. Don't say that the process is going well, because that's not what you see on social media. So, yes, I think it's a razor-thin margin for me, but I think I would rather have Kubiak, but it's really close. They can't go wrong if these are the two candidates they're picking.
All right. Next two are out of the blue, but about the same team and news in the league.
I love it because it's a Friday. We don't have to look ahead. We don't have picks. Let's get weird.
Kevin O'Connell will get the GM powers in Minnesota.
Yeah, so let's make sure that the listeners are in on the bit here. I don't know if everyone's got ESPN alerts turned on. Minnesota fired their GM today.
They did.
After just extending he and Kevin O'Connell last offseason. They just got new contracts.
By the way, he just got fired in Mobile.
I don't know if he was in Mobile like as of yesterday. I don't know technically where he was when the decision was made. But yes, he had a bad press conference yesterday talking about the process that led to Sam Darnold leaving to go to Seattle. Do I think this is going to lead towards KOC getting more power? Probably. You think he gets the Harbaugh situation? They bring in the GM, but he just reports to ownership.
I do.
And he gets final say?
I really do.
Listen, if that's what it will take to keep Kevin O'Connell, I would do that.
I just think you have the right guy in the building.
Right. Tennessee made this mistake by not giving that power to Vrabel. The Giants wanted to make sure they got John Harbaugh. They were not going to allow that to be the reason why they didn't get Harbaugh. In San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan has final say.
Yeah.
So if it's a coach that you really believe in, and apparently the situation last year was not great in Minnesota, if you want to try to repair that, you may need to dangle something in front of Kevin O'Connell that makes him want to stay.
And with Kevin O'Connell as maybe the GM of the team, the Vikings will have a new starting quarterback in 2026.
Boy, this is a really interesting question that you ask, because you have to wonder who wanted Sam to stay, who wanted Sam to go, who wanted J.J. McCarthy, who didn't. How much say did Kevin O'Connell have in all of those decisions? if he was pounding on the table for J.J. McCarthy, then I think McCarthy's going to be the starter next season. But you can put Minnesota on your list of teams that's going to probably be looking for a quarterback this offseason.
Certainly.
Because I think they're going to look. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting back to, we'll just ride it out with JJ. Kirk Cousins is a free agent.
I would love to see Malik Willis.
Looks like he's going to get cut. The expectation is Kirk Cousins is going to get cut. So
he'll get cut.
Could he go right back?
He'll get the boot.
Malik Willis with Kevin O'Connell?
You can't go with Kirk Cousins.
Can you go with J.J. McCarthy?
Okay, here's my thing on JJ. And I know, listen, we've had people in the chat.
Be careful because anytime we talk about J.J. McCarthy, it gets taken wildly out of context.
If JJ was a rookie last year, I think we would all sit here and say he showed flashes of why he should get a second year to start.
If last year was his rookie year, which technically it was, you would feel like that was a rookie quarterback's first season. That was a non-first overall quarterback rookie season.
Correct.
Yeah, I think I agree with that statement.
Like, what did he? In all honesty, like Dart probably showed more, but like not significantly more than I thought JJ showed.
What do you think McCarthy's numbers were? I'm going to pull them up. What do you think his
numbers were?
They were
probably bad, but he had a few nice games.
1,632 passing yards.
How many games did he play?
So, you know what? It's a fantastic question. Let me get that for you.
8?
He played in 10 games for them.
Okay.
10 games. Now, he did not clear the Caleb Williams bar. 57.6 completion percent. So we've got to get better in that department. 1,632 passing yards. 11 touchdowns. Now, this is where we got to clean up some things. 12 interceptions is a problem.
Yeah, that's bad.
Got sacked 27 times in 10 games. Had a QBR of 35.7.
Yeah, it's worse than I thought, honestly.
Finished okay. Finished on a 4-game win streak, right? They went 9-8 last year, by the way, the Minnesota Vikings did.
Yeah, like you compare that Dart through for 2,200 yards.
No, listen, he's not Jackson Dart. But the last four games of the season for McCarthy, his last 4 starts, a 31-0 win over Washington. He went 16 of 23, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 163 yards. They beat Dallas the next week 34-26. He went 15 for 24, 250, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Then the last 2 weeks of the season, they won both of those games, 16-13 against the Giants, 16-3 against the Packers. He went 9 for 14, a $108 with 1 pick, no touchdowns against the Giants, and then 14 of 23, 182 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He finished the year 4-0, last 4 games, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah, see that's enough where you would say if we drafted this guy, 12th?
Yeah, and then the previous 3 starts before that, he had 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So he got better as the season went along. And he had that great fourth quarter against Chicago. What?
This is how you emphasize 6 interceptions.
Why? It's 6 interceptions in 3 games. That's not going to get it done.
Everybody goes through a bad stretch. Sam threw 4 in a game.
Sam saw ghosts.
I just want to be very
against the team he's going to play in 2 Sundays.
I just want to be very clear that Sam Darnold turned the ball over more than any quarterback in professional football this year.
So I don't think it's clear cut that they'll move on from McCarthy unless there's just a slam dunk upgrade. Right, it's all code with a great point. CJ Stroud had 4 picks in 1 half. Felt more like 8. He was throwing lollipops.
I got to be honest with you. The Steelers game, like CJ Stroud couldn't catch a snap, was fumbling left and right.
England, he got worse. I think McCarthy has a better shot to be the starter than people think he does right now.
I think that's fair.
Is that it? Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
The Football-less Friday edition of Buy or Sell here on the lunch break. Speaking of the lunch break, you can listen to the lunch break on the KDUS AM 1060 app, where you can listen for your chance to win 2 tickets the 28th annual Arizona Renaissance Festival. It's open Saturdays and Sundays from January 31st through March 29th. That means it opens up tomorrow. We've got your chance to win a pair of tickets for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app. When we return, a former Cardinal said this is all about the quarterback. Is he right? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. At 19 and 29, the Mavericks have no business pretending to be contenders. Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving are out, and whatever postseason aspirations once existed have disappeared. But buried inside a lost year is Dallas's crown jewel, Cooper Flagg. With no real expectations attached to winning, he's been given something that stars rarely receive: space to fail, to experiment, to learn what it means to carry responsibility without the weight of immediate results. He can make mistakes, study from them, grow from them in real time, learn how to lead and how to handle attention and how to exist as the face of the franchise, all without nightly pressure to save a season that's already gone. Best part for Dallas is timing. Flagg gets a year of low-pressure development, then steps into a situation ready to win when Davis and Irving return healthy, making this season appear less like losing and more like preparation. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. And when anything can happen during the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with an early exit. If a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately once your bet settles. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code Patrick to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
Not surprised that the Cardinals aren't in. They fired their head coach. Kyler Murray's probably on his way out. It is what they like to call Black Monday. I'm kind of surprised by the Raheem Morris one in Atlanta. It's only been how long? Year? 2 years. So maybe that one. Pete Carroll gone. I told you from the jump when they hired Pete Carroll, I didn't like the hire. I think he's past his due. Let him go after year one. You might as well have kept the guy you had before and saved a bunch of money.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
A former Cardinal has weighed in on the head coaching search and the lack thereof of a hire. I'll tell you, I am constantly surprised that people are surprised that the Cardinals are still waiting for a head coach. Did you expect them to go first in this whole process? Did you expect them to get one of the first candidates? We knew that they were going to be one of the lesser options in this coaching cycle. So I'm not surprised at all that we've gotten to this point. But a former Cardinal has weighed in, and he points to one reason and one reason in particular as to why the Cardinals still remain without a head coach. That former Cardinals name, J.J. Watt, was on the Pat McAfee show. It was either yesterday or the day before, and he pointed the blame at the quarterback spot. He said that the reason why the Cardinals can't land a head coach right now is because they need to sort out their quarterback situation. That if you're a potential head coach candidate, you don't really want to go into a situation with this much uncertainty. Is JJ right? Is it really all about the quarterback? Was it hard for the Cardinals to get somebody to take this gig because of the quarterback? Is the reason why it's viewed as such an unattractive job by anybody that you talk to that covers this sport? Is it the quarterback and Kyler Murray, not Kyler Murray, the uncertainty? Is that the reason why it's viewed so poorly? Or is it more than just the quarterback? Let me tell you, I think it's more than just the quarterback because, unfortunately, it would be easy if it was just the quarterback. If the quarterback situation was the only thing standing in the way of the Cardinals finding success, it would be much easier for the Cardinals to find a head coach. Not saying it would be easy. Not saying this turnaround is right around the corner if it was just the quarterback. But it's certainly much easier to change out a quarterback, to throw a dart in the draft, to trade for somebody, to sign a quarterback in free agency. It's easy to throw draft capital or free agent dollars at the problem. It's much more harder to hire a head coach when it goes beyond the quarterback the way this situation does. It's harder to hire a head coach when you play in a tough division the way the Cardinals play. And we know that that is factoring in here. It's harder to land a head coach when you have, I'll put this caveat on it. I won't be this harsh on a Friday. One of the worst owners in the NFL? The NFLPA report cards probably make Michael Bidwell out to be the worst. I'll give him the cover of one of the worst.
Yeah, certainly feels like it. And the report cards seemingly get worse every year.
So you have an organization that is viewed as an owner that doesn't support the team, facilities that are not up to par. The organization doesn't do great in the food and nutrition department, the family department. We can pull up the report card. I think, did they get anything? They got an A, and I think it was in Gannon. It was the coach where they got an A in last year's report card. We don't have the report card.
You name it, they did not do well, and I can find it.
I'm going to try to pull it up here just because I'm curious. This is very quick, actually. This is pretty impressive for me. The NFL report cards for 2025, they were ranked 32nd out of 32 teams. D+ in treatment of families, that was 29th. D- in food dining area, that was 30th. The nutrition, the dietitian was a B, was 22nd. Locker room, F-, 32nd. Training room, D-, 32nd. Training staff, a C, 31st. Weight room, F, 31st. Strength coaches, C+, 31st. They got a B in team travel. That was 20th. They got an A in head coach. That was 8th. They got a D- in ownership. That was 30th. And when you go down to the owner section, owner Michael Bidwell's average rating for perceived willingness to invest in facilities is a 5.9 out of 10 from the Cardinals players, a ranking of 31 out of 32. Players feel Bidwell slightly contributes to a positive team culture, a rank of 28 out of 32. The players feel that Bidwell is somewhat committed to building a competitive team, a rank of 27 of the 32 NFL owners. But please, JJ, and I appreciate where you're coming from, but please tell me that it's just the quarterback. Please tell me that if that part of this was solved, the Cardinals would be a premier destination and they would have had their head coach already. You and I both know that it's more than that. You and I both know that this report card matters because any coach that's coming in here has to fight with this, has to fight with an owner that isn't viewed as somebody that is all the way in on winning, somewhat committed to building a competitive team, slightly contributes to a positive culture. A 5.9 out of 10 in the willingness to invest in the facilities. That's what the next head coach is fighting upstream with. Convincing players to come here when that's the reality on the ground. And it's not just one report card. This has been the report card problem for the Cardinals forever. In 2024, they were 27th. It got worse. If it was just the quarterback, it's easy. Hire an offensive mind. Draft somebody, sign somebody in free agency, trade for somebody, throw everything at the wall until something sticks. It's not that easy. It's not that easy because you don't have the infrastructure that San Francisco has, that Seattle has, that the Rams have. That's just looking in your division. Let's go down the Klint Kubiak rabbit hole. The support that he would get in Vegas is miles ahead of the support that he would get in Arizona. Miles ahead. So JJ is sort of right. The quarterback is playing somewhat of a role here. But to me, the bigger problem is more so the unfixable problem. You need somebody at the top, and his name is Michael Bidwell, to change the way he has done things. And until that happens, this is what you are going to be fighting against every single time you get yourself into a coaching cycle. Because in that report card, Gannon got an A. So you can have a great head coach. It doesn't matter unless the rest of it works. It doesn't matter unless the rest of it is above average. Michael Bidwell needs that new facility to be done ASAP. Michael Bidwell needs to do more to invest into his team, into his organization, into the infrastructure. Because that's what you're fighting against in this coaching cycle, not your quarterback situation. Somebody took the Cleveland job. They don't have a quarterback on their roster. Klint Kubiak's going to take the Vegas job. They don't have a quarterback on the roster. They have the number 1 overall pick. They have a path out of it, but they don't have a quarterback on the roster. It's not just about the quarterback. It goes well beyond that because you can be a great head coach. You can be great at the X's and O's. If you can't convince players to come here because they don't want to play for this organization and this owner because of the things I just talked about in that report card, it's over. It's checkmate. You don't stand a chance. I wish it was just the quarterback. That's actually the easier thing to solve. When that's the hardest position in sports to figure out, that would be the easier thing if it was just that. You've got great weather. You've got a great stadium that you play in. You've got a fan base that is ready to support this team. But those same people that are ready to support this team are canceling their season tickets. Why? Because they don't have the belief that the things that need to change are going to change. I need to apologize because I was just reminded that Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler, so there's a Pro Bowl quarterback in Cleveland. My apologies. Thank you to the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube chat for reminding me of that. Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders. It's not just a quarterback. I wish it was. It would be easy. It's just not. 480-864-1060, the phone number you want to chime in here today on the program when we come back. Was last night further proof that Jordan Ott is the NBA Coach of the Year? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
Hey listeners, it's Vince DeLisio with the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in Saturday morning as we take our show back on the road again to sunny Las Vegas, where I'll be joined by our newest talented UNLV Greenspun journalism team. We'll be live from one of Vegas's most iconic spots. I can't wait. It's the Varsity Sports Show, Saturday morning at 10 and 9 a.m. Pacific on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS, Arizona.
John Mellencamp. Dancing Words Tour, the greatest hits. August 9th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. John Mellencamp. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hey guys, if you have low T, it's time to get your edge back. Start testosterone therapy at Red Mountain Weight Loss and get a month of GLP-1 weight loss medications absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Listen, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go, so you'll feel like you're 20 again. Get more muscle with less effort in the gym. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And if you're looking to lose weight, there's nothing like the combo of testosterone and a GLP-1 medication. It'll burn that belly fat and get you ripped. This month, get free GLP-1 medication, a $299 value, when you start testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone. Keyword Red Mountain. Time to get your edge back at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
Maybe you've had your eye on a Fulton home. The premium craftsmanship, thoughtfully designed floor plans, resort-style amenities, and award-winning communities across the valley. A place where every detail feels intentional. For many buyers, homeownership can feel out of reach. But now, owning a Fulton home is more attainable than ever. With special pricing, limited time incentives, and interest rate buydowns on select homes, now is the right moment to make your move. From beautifully designed interiors to the legendary quality Fulton Homes is known for, every detail is built to stand the test of time. Visit any Fulton Homes community today or go to fultonhomes.com. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
Right now at Marquis in Scottsdale, buy a brand new 2025 Kia K4 for $369 a month for 72 months at 4.99% APR with just $2,000 down.
The name to remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Finance. Offer expires February 7, 2026.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
A major KDUS AM 1060 announcement coming up in the leftovers. We're adding something new to the station that I'm very excited to announce here in the next segment that will start this week. I think that's enough of a tease, right, Producer Evan, without actually giving the whole thing away?
And that's very much enough of a tease.
I've been waiting to make this announcement. We had to cross T's, we had to dot I's, we had to make sure everything was ready to go for this weekend in particular.
A lot of wrapping it up this week.
I had the feeling it was going to happen at some point, but it being able to be starting this weekend was very much up in the air. But we got it to the finish line, and so I'm ready to make that announcement here in the next segment in the leftovers. Right now, though, we're going to continue talking about last night's Suns game. Suns, by the way, back in action tonight against Cleveland. I don't know. Do we think Jalen Green plays tonight? He didn't play last night, and I didn't think there was going to be that much of a difference in 24 hours.
I can't imagine.
But again,
play tonight.
I don't play a medical professional here on the radio.
I thought if he was going to play, I thought it would be in last night's game.
I laid out that case of by playing him last night, if you were going to play him at some point in this back-to-back, you get him 2 days off before he plays on Sunday. It's starting to think Sunday feels more likely. But last night's win, Dillon Brooks on his T-shirt night, Dillon the Villain, had a massive game, 40 points, was a huge performance from him. And the Suns beat the Detroit Pistons without their two best offensive players. And that got me thinking once again, dude, this Jordan Knott should be in the Coach of the Year conversation. Add last night's game to the resume as to why he needs to be in this conversation. Now, remember, a reminder to everybody, the Coach of the Year award is all about narrative. It's all about the story that you can tell. It's not necessarily fully based on results. It's about expectations and who exceeds those expectations, right? I think everybody assumes the Coach of the Year in the NFL this year is going to be Mike Vrabel, right? To go from 4 wins to 14 wins, win the division, you're going to the Super Bowl. He's going to be the Coach of the Year, right? Going from 4 to 14 is enough of a jump. And the narrative of you were the worst team, one of the worst teams last year, and now you are at the top, potentially at the very top of the mountain. So the narratives matter here. And so that's why I think there's one thing that Jordan Knott needs to absolutely make sure happens to get into this Coach of the Year conversation. Suns have to be a top 16.
Have to be.
Phoenix Suns
can't be a play-in team.
Cannot be a play-in team from a narrative perspective. Now, I know they were projected to finish, second to last, 30.5 wins, projected to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. But going from that projection to being a play-in team is not enough of a narrative-shattering moment. Going from being projected to be one of the worst teams in the NBA to being perhaps a 4 or a 5 seed and hosting home playoff games, having home court advantage in the playoffs, that's enough of a narrative. That builds a campaign. That builds a candidacy of this dude should be the Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year is about telling a great story. And how great of a story would it be to give the award to a guy who was in his first year as a head coach? They trade Kevin Durant. They get rid of Bradley Beal. They're projected to be the worst team in the NBA. They're considered the worst situation in the NBA. And he turns around, and not only does he take that team to the playoffs, but they're a top 5 seed in the Western Conference. To me, that would be game, set, match. Wrap it up. Hand him the award. But right now, I think he falls short of that because he's a play-in tournament team. That, to me, allows them to give it to somebody else. To give it to the coach that they played last night, perhaps.
I think they probably will. If you finish outside of the playoff spots allotted and in the play-in, I just don't see a path for you to be the Coach of the Year.
I'm trying to pull up the odds, what the latest odds were, or at least the latest odds that I can see. So this is a BetMGM article from a week ago, and it had JB Bickerstaff in front. It had Bickerstaff at minus 115. It had Jordan Knott next at plus 400, Joe Mazzulla at plus 500. And by the way, you could have gotten Jordan Knott to win Coach of the Year plus 10,000 before the season. So if you have that ticket, boy, you're feeling good about yourself. But right now they have Jordan Knott at number 2. If Jordan Knott gets the Suns into a playoff spot, not a play-in spot, he closes this gap.
He's number 1.
If he doesn't, then I think it's JB Bickerstaff. They're going to be the number 1 seed in the East. They're going to take advantage of the wide open Eastern Conference. They're going to be in front of the Knicks, who everybody thought was going to be the number 1 team, in front of Cleveland, who thought could take advantage of Indiana being down and Boston being down. So that's their narrative. Your narrative can be, we were projected to win 30.5 games. We're going to win 50. What are they on pace for? They got 29 wins right now through 48 games.
Correct. Give me 2 seconds.
This is where the algebra comes in, right? 29 over 48 equals how many games over 82? So you got to do 29 times 82.
They're on pace to win 49.5 games.
Okay. So they're on pace to win 50 games. The quick math was right. I'm going to win 50 games. when you projected me to win 30 as a first-year coach. I'm going to, in the Western Conference, be a top 5, top 4 seed. What more do you have to do? What more do you have to do? So last night helped the candidacy, especially because he beat JB Bickerstaff. It helped the candidacy. There's just that one piece missing. They cannot be a play-in team. But he certainly should be in the conversation. What a job he has done so far this year. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. If you're listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app, you can listen for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic at Warehouse 215 on Wednesday, February 18th. When we come back, major KDUS AM 1060 announcement will get you ready for everything that's going on this weekend on the station. And we've got all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. Call them the leftovers. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Rams and Seahawks, Andy. I don't understand how to be so aggressive. Instead of definitely going up 13-10, your play calls resulted in a quick punt, so quick that Seattle actually gets the ball back, goes down the field and takes a lead, and then they get to jump on you in the second half with that fumbled punt. And that was a huge mistake by the Rams. But I'm going to go back to how they mismanaged that at halftime.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
For over 50 years, they redefined rock. The spirit lives on.
Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Haley and Alex Lifeson celebrate 50 years of Rush 50-something tour, December 1st and 3rd, 2026, Desert Diamond Arena. Tickets are on sale now at rush.com. Legends don't stop. They evolve. Rush.
What would you do if you could multiply your cash? Would you multiply your vacations? Multiply your relaxation? Or multiply your celebrations? With multiplier scratchers from the Arizona Lottery, you can multiply all the good things like vacations, relaxation, and celebrations. Play multiplier scratchers for over $270 million in prizes and multiply your fun. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Every day begins with the promise of something new. A new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lady Sun Devils this Sunday as they take on Kansas State here at home. Head coach Molly Miller knows what it'll take to lead her team to another home conference win. Join Jeff Mudd on the call live. It's ASU versus Kansas State this Sunday. Pregame at 1:30 p.m. and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
All right. Producer Evan, what do we start with? We start with the announcement?
Start with the announcement.
You think we should start with the announcement? You think that's the right thing to do? I think this requires the sounder, no? I think the sounder is worthy for this. This is a sounder-worthy piece of news. Starting this Sunday, KDUS AM 1060, or in this case on Sunday, KZG 1440, is the new home of NASCAR here in Phoenix. So all of the races throughout the course of the season can be heard right here on KDUS AM 1060. That gets started this Sunday with the Clash at Bowman Gray. 3:30 is when things get underway over on KZG 1440. You can listen to the race over there. And as part of this announcement, you will be able to listen to the race also on the KDUS AM 1060 app. So when you open up the KDUS AM 1060 app, you'll see the main player at the top if you're somebody who uses the app regularly. And right underneath that, there'll be a new little section that will tell you to click here for the race. You click on that, you hit the play button on the player, and boom, inside the app, you can listen to the race. Now, a word of caution, don't leave the app. Then you won't be able to hear it. And you'll also be able to stream it on KDUS1060.com. There'll be a separate player on the side of the website that will point you in the direction of NASCAR all throughout the course of the season. So super excited about that. That gets underway this Sunday. Again, 3:30 on KZG 1440 is where you can listen to the race. Bunch of other stuff you can listen to here this weekend on the station.
A ton of other stuff.
We've got NAU men's basketball tomorrow. That's a 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock tip on KDUS AM 1060 when they take on Idaho. And then you've got ASU women's basketball. That gets started at 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock tip, KDUS AM 1060 when they take on Kansas State. So that's what you got going on this weekend. And you've got NASCAR.
Got it all.
Got it all.
All right. Are you ready for the leftovers?
I am ready for the leftovers. Yes, I've made my major announcement. Very, very excited about this. Had an opportunity last season to go to the championship out here in Phoenix with my father-in-law, who's a huge racing fan. And I've always been a car guy. I love F1. I got to listen to the MRN broadcast, which is what you will be hearing here on the station while I was there in attendance. I loved it. And when the opportunity came across for us to add it here to the station, it was something that we couldn't say no to. So very excited about that. And so looking forward to that on Sunday. Sorry. Yes.
And for those of you who haven't listened to racing.
Oh, it's fantastic on the
awesome
radio.
To listen to on the radio.
Good. The guys at MRN do such a great job. So very much looking forward to bringing that to all of you.
The Falcons are reportedly going to release quarterback Kirk Cousins. I know we touched on it, but I wanted exactly what you thought about the Falcons letting Kirk Cousins go.
Well, Michael Penix is probably the incumbent right now to get that gig, although I wonder if Kevin Stefanski will look to make some type of upgrade. I don't know if Stefanski took the job because he thought he could, get more out of Michael Penix. I think he took that job because it was an opportunity to work with Bijan Robinson. It was an opportunity to work with Drake London and Kyle Pitts and that entire offensive infrastructure. And it might include Michael Penix Jr. It's just not a guarantee that it'll include Michael Penix Jr. So that is my thought on it.
Does he go somewhere else?
Michael Penix?
No.
Or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
I mean, we did the list yesterday, right? There's 8 teams that we said are going to be
somebody's
interested?
going to take that chance.
Somebody's going to take that chance, yes.
Honestly, why not be the starter for 1 year in Vegas? I feel like him and Mendoza would get along. Pass it along to Fernando.
So go to Vegas, be the bridge, and then Fernando Mendoza takes over. Does he want to do that at this stage of his career, though? Does he want to be the bridge, or does he want to go somewhere where he can compete for an actual job, like Cleveland, the Jets, Miami?
It's just, I don't know.
I mean, I hear you.
Want to go?
I hear you, but
look, I know Vegas is going to make additions. I know that they have a lot of money they can spend on the offensive line if I go there. I think Brock Bowers is a piece. I like Sean Tucker as a piece. They still have Ashton Genty. I think if I can get the running game off the floor a little bit with a good offensive line, just feels like there's, and I know it's going to sound crazy, slightly more infrastructure in Vegas.
I just don't know if he's going to be interested in being a placeholder when he knows he's the placeholder. You're going to get at most 4 starts, and then they're going to turn it over to the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you sign up for that? I just want to address something because somebody over on the YouTube asked a question, and I think I know why they asked this question. John said the only MRN broadcast. We are working effortlessly, and I believe it will also get done. But we are working on adding the PRN broadcast as well. So we will have every single week of the Cup Series here on KDUS AM 1060. But for the moment, as we make this announcement today, it is just the MRN side of things. But it is in my, the moment I get off the air here today, the work continues on that to make sure that we can have all of the Cup races here on KDUS AM 1060. So we're working behind the scenes on that. I expect.
The goal is to have everything.
Yes, and I expect that to be the case. So I expect that to be the case.
The Athletic went through this morning and ranked all the farm systems across Major League Baseball, across your favorite sport. The Diamondbacks finished as a Tier 4 team, Among them in Tier 4, the New York Mets leading the pack at 12th overall, San Francisco Giants at 13, the Diamondbacks at 14, and the Philadelphia Phillies finishing off Tier 4 at 15.
Middle of the road for the Diamondbacks. There's still work to do in that department by, drafting players, developing players, finding those hidden gems, trading for players and turning them into major prospects. Yeah, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done for an organization that's going to be where they're going to make up the ground here with the rest of the National League. They're not going to be able to outspend everybody. So they have to get better in the player development department. And so building up a robust farm system is going to be key to all of that.
Quote, the Diamondback system is loaded with hitters all around the field, including a couple of catchers in rookie ball and their usual cornucopia of undersized guys who can really hit. With an infusion of 3 potential starters and Merrill Kelly trade, the 2021-23 draft classes really haven't panned out, leaving a gap in their system that they've refilled through the years through some trades and better drafts in the last 2 seasons.
Work to be done.
Work to be done. But they have some pieces.
They have some pieces. Ryan Waldschmidt, chief among them.
Do you think you could guess Tier 1, which is 3 teams?
3 teams are in the Tier 1 of prospects?
Yes.
The Milwaukee Brewers.
The Milwaukee Brewers are first.
Who else has a really, really good farm system? Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, the top of Tier 4, they are 4th. Or top of Tier 2, they are 4th.
Let's go with... I'm just trying to think. The Dodgers?
The Dodgers, number 2.
And then I need one more. American League or National League?
American League.
The A's?
It's not the A's. The A's, get this, because Jacob Wilson and those guys aren't considered.
By the way, speaking of Jacob Wilson, just signed his
contract extension.
Yeah, like 5 minutes ago. A 7-year, $70 million contract extension for Jacob Wilson and the A's. So they're in overdrive this offseason of signing their young guys to long-term deals.
But because Kurtz and Wilson,
right? Those guys graduated,
deals, right. Yeah, so they're not prospects anymore. So they're 24th.
Okay. I need an American League team. Yankees?
Stay in that division.
Oh, because they've got a top 10 prospect, the Mariners. Yeah, they've got Colt Emerson, who's going to be probably their either starting shortstop or a third baseman by midway of the season.
Yeah. So it's Brewers, Dodgers, Mariners. Last story for you. We'll get to it quick. Bleacher Report wrote a story this morning that is Jackson Smith the best route runner in football?
Jackson Smith and Jigba, the best route runner in football. He's pretty darn good. I mean, it just feels like he's always open, right?
Just feels like he's always open. And I know what they're going to say. Wow, he feels like the best route runner. But then I raise him with a guy coming out of Arizona State this year who just feels like he's going to slot right in as one of the best route runners in the league.
It's certainly the skill that makes you believe that Jordan Tyson's going to have a very bright future at the NFL level, right? Like that separation, the route running ability feels like his way of immediately finding success. And I told you the comp. I think it's LSU Justin Jefferson.
I think so too.
That's what he reminds me of.
You just watch him and that's what he feels like.
Just so fluid. It's so effortless. Yeah. It's just,
puts his foot in the ground. Like he plays faster than what he'll run at the 40.
And he's got to stay healthy, right? And
I know that's a knock.
I'll admit it. It's a problem. But if he's able to stay on the field, and I don't know how many of these injuries are of the recurring variety, but if he's able to stay on the field, I don't think it will take long for him to be a top 10 receiver in the sport. I really don't.
I don't either.
Get him in the right situation, get him with a good quarterback, keep him healthy. I think it's a top 10 receiver in 2 years.
I agree.
That's going to do it for us here on the Footballless Friday edition of The Lunch Break. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. See ya.